Okay friends, we are here to learn about internet and particularly for information and communication. The key objectives of this particular unit are: number 1, to understand the importance and utility of internet and World Wide Web, that is WWW, and have knowledge about and concept of internet protocols. Number 3, understand the concept of video conferencing, the hardware and software and other things involved in it, and finally use and the concept of Wi-Fi. These are the major objectives of this particular unit. Now internet, the word came into existence in 1982 when the major networks in US and Britain, namely BitNet and agreed to use the most common used protocol those days, TCP/IP, that is transmission communication protocol and internet protocol. And earlier in 1960s, the Advanced Research Project Agency of USA had already been using the networking of its computers, but in 80s this National Science Foundation of USA again used it for the military and research purposes. Merging these two concepts, making it open to public, more and more computers were connected and internet was born in 1982. Internet, the full form is internet. Inter is taken from the word international and net is taken from the network. So all these computers which are connected by any means, you can see in this particular slide that whether it is through optical lines, whether it is through satellite communication, whether it is through Ethernet connectivity or your LAN, they are all connected on internet. So internet is a network of networks where all the computers connected by any means are called on internet. Who manages internet? There is no managing body as such. There is an internet society based in US, which is a not for profit society, which manages in a way that allots the names, the internet protocol numbers, and then the URLs, and then manages its functions. Then there is a IETE, Indian Internet Engineering Task Force, which manages through its subgroups how should the protocol work, how should the addressing system be managed, and how the basic conflicts, if any, in the protocols be resolved. The rapid growth of internet has been engineered or has been pushed by, number 1, increasing use of software, increasing penetration of telecommunications, now even on your mobiles, and then increasing computing capacity. The power of the computers and power of the telecommunication network has combinedly pushed the internet growth to such a level. What is internet? Internet is not a very structured body. It is a network of networks. It is a free society in the sense anybody can connect on internet. It is a relaxing place in the sense you can coolly look, you do not necessarily participate, you can keep on watching, keep on only downloading, keep on downloading, or you can keep on uploading, you can keep on uploading. Internet is a business place where you can, I am sure some of you must have used Flipkart, eBay, or even on Book My Show. Many of these or our irctc.co.in, that is our railway booking systems. So internet provides us opportunity to do business. Now most of the banks are already on e-banking mode. So internet provides business opportunities, and the most used internet application is the email. So mailboxes, you can send, receive messages, audio messages, text messages, and information portals. So internet gives opportunity to share information, to download information, to upload information, and in a way it is a very living thing. It grows, it is highly dynamic, more and more information putting on. If you take in agriculture, 10 years back there was very little information on Indian agriculture, but today we have more than 30,000 pages developed in India, put on the web. So that is the use of internet. Next, the terms used in internet, because that is one of the main objectives of this particular unit, are servers, the mail servers. So mail servers are, say, POP servers, SMTP POP server. That means how do we receive the mails, post office protocol servers, simple mail transfer protocol, and web servers. Web servers are those servers wherein you can store information, retrieve information, run applications. Then we have FTP servers where you can download files from. FTP servers do not give much information, they give only file name, but you can download the files from them. Then there are news servers, say aajtak.intoday.in. So the websites which host mainly newspaper based websites, they are called news servers. Then we have very important category of servers called DNS servers. These are domain name servers, because it is very difficult to remember the IP addresses of the websites. So domain name servers resolve, say for example www.manage.gov.in. remembering manage is easy, whereas remembering the digital address of internet protocol is difficult. So DNS servers are those servers which translate these names into IP addresses. And then finally www, web, World Wide Web. Some people think World Wide Web and the internet the same. No, internet is the communication backbone, network of the networks. All the computers, all the servers connected, that is hardware part of it. Connectivity part of it is internet. The information part of it, the information processing part of it is the World Wide Web. So World Wide Web, how does it work? The elements of World Wide Web are, main thing is client and server, as you can see in this particular figure. Client is, say for example your system, a browser through which you access any information, and the web server where the information is stored, where you are asking the information. So web server takes a request from the client and services that particular request, and web languages, protocols are part of it. Web pages, what is a web page? You put up information, you put up a photograph, you put up text, you arrange a page on which information is available, that is called web page. Home page is the initial page of any particular website. So for example you have DECnet or EggMarkNet or say Manage website, if you go, it gives the index, you see all the items on the related on the website. So home page is the first page, which is a kind of index to the rest of the pages, others are links available in that. And the web browser is a software which takes you through the website, puts up the links and then fetches the information from the website. Website information organized by the designer of that website, and then web browser accesses that information. So website is the collection of pages, web page is a single page, and home page is the first page of any website. Now the domain name server and the URL. URL is the uniform resource locator. So every website has a unique name, but unique name technically have a IP addresses, but we remember only the names like gov.in, like say decnet.gov.in, agmarknet.gov.nic.in, then we have agriculture.up.nic.in. These names are alphabetic names. Alphabetic names are translated into IP addresses by domain name servers. So DNS, you see in this picture here, so DNS translates it into the actual server name and then sends it to the request to that particular server which hosts this information, and then URL is translated. These domain name suffixes are different kinds, which are .com. What is .com? .com is the suffix used for the commercial websites. Then we have .edu, educational website, .gov, governmental website, .org, any organization, .mil, used for military in US. .net is a generic name, you have to be very careful because .net could be any kind of website. So these are a kind of domain name suffixes. Some of the people rather in nowadays say gov.in, that means Government of India, gov.br, Brazil, .fr, France, .uk. So these are the names, and if there is no name, normally US doesn't use any suffix for itself. Now we go for the internet connections. How do we connect to internet? Simplest thing is a dial-up modem, although now it is a dying kind of connectivity. in homes we used to take, it's a very slow, it starts from 56.6 kbps, may go up to maybe 3000 kbps, but it's a dying kind of thing. Then we have lease line for the larger institutions, wherein we directly connect it to through BSNL or through Railtel. You can connect get the lease lines or optical fiber cable, where physically you get connected and you get higher bandwidths. Then nowadays we have internet service providers which provide you connectivity, which even provide you hosting your website, which give you domain name registration, they give you web space. Sometimes if you require, they give you FTP space, ASP space for your applications, mail space and static IP address. So internet service providers are the firms, companies, maybe government or private or public private. In India we have BSNL, we have SIFI, we have number of companies, Tata, we have very many companies providing internet services, which give you services at home, services in office. The protocols we already discussed earlier, FTP protocol, FTP file transfer protocol, from wherein you can go to the server, ask for the file, but in FTP we see only the file name, wherein Gopher you see little part of the file, that means file type is also displayed. Telnet, and then the most used internet protocol is TCP/IP. Mail protocols are POP3 and SMTP, and HTTP is the internet protocol, rather the web hosting protocol, hypertext transmission protocol. It is connectionless, media independent, means any kind of file, audio file, video file, text file can be uploaded, and only for that time when the uploading is happening it is connected, after that it gets disconnected. Now we go for the second objective of this particular unit, that is the video conferencing. Video conferencing, the basic concept of this technology is sending large amount of data, audio and video streaming in real time, because for video you have to see 25 or 30 frames per second, then only your picture looks like a video. For that we have to have a high bandwidth connectivity. This streaming is done by compression, by coder decoder, which is called codec. Normally it is done either through ISDN line or IP. Nowadays most of the people are using on IP, because ISDN is little costly in our country, because you have to pay for three times the telephony cost. Other components of video conferences include video inputs, that means either you need a webcam or a computer camera, or video output, that has to be either on a monitor, it can be on a TV, or you can directly connect to a projector. Then we have audio input, you can speak on the microphone, or you can play a CD or a DVD, and last and final is the most important, is the network through which you are transmitting your data. So video conferencing is being used for the educational purposes. IITs are giving lectures to IIITs, to the engineering colleges, and now most of the chief ministers are using to talk to their districts. Video conferencing can be point to point, between two, or multi-point. For multi-point video conferencing system you need little higher configuration, multi-point control units, they are little more costly, require little more hardware, and but they provide more than two sites talking to each other. Nowadays up to 24, up to 50 people can be connected, but at a point of time 3 to 4 are online. It is one of the growing IT connectivity in this country. Now last topic of this particular unit is Wi-Fi, that is wireless fidelity. It started in 1980s, but finally with CSIRO in Australia getting the patent for 802.11 protocol in 1996, Wi-Fi uses radio frequency, that means from your computer via antenna it goes into radio waves. It is a little high radio frequency, that is 2.4 gigahertz to 5 gigahertz, and nowadays we have standards like 802.11a, B, G and N, which are being used for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is extremely helpful when in campus we provide, people can sit in a lawn, people can sit on a desk and can use it in most of the airports in India, whether it's Hyderabad, Chennai, Bombay and Delhi. We are providing Wi-Fi connectivity wherein all your computer devices can be hooked on the internet and we can use it. So friends, today we have discussed about the internet, its protocols and how do we use it, what are the things and what are the hardware software required and how do these computers talk to each other. I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any doubts, please go through your reading material once again. All this material is available on Manage website www.manage.gov.in and all these videos will also be made available on the same, and you can always talk to us using our Manage contact numbers. Thank you very much.